Hi guys, bienvenue sur ma channel. My name is Ifeoluwa Ishala. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking and always returning back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome to the family. Please go through some of my videos. If you like the vibes here, which you would definitely like, click on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Guys, wait, let me even start. Let's start this way, right? Happy New Year! I know some of you might be like, oh yeah. It's still valid. It's still valid. This is the first time I'm speaking to you guys this year, so it's still valid. So happy New Year, guys. Welcome to 2023. I hope the year has been going on the pace that you wanted to, and I pray from the bottom of my heart that this year is going to be our year of harvest. It's going to be our year of ease, our year of peace, and above all, a year which will work more and better with God in this year. Amen. Amen. So guys, in today's video, we will be talking. I want to share some things that 2022 taught me, and at the same time what we are looking forward to, especially on this channel this year. Okay, so if this sounds like something you are interested in, which you should be, come on, tell me. Right, guys, 2022 did me shiggy. Oh my god, oh my god. 2022 was that year that I never saw coming. I entered into 2022 with so much vigor, so much promises, so much strength, so much energy. You know, I was ready to conquer 2022, you know, because I started 2022 with my master's program, just new in the UK. It was like a lot of things looking forward to the year, and I was so excited at the beginning of 2022, unknowing to me that 2022 is just like, how can I show you, baby? And he did. But thanks to God, I am standing victorious because I conquered all, and I'm grateful to God that He saw me all through those times. And in as much as, 2022 was that rocky a year that really showed me so many things I did not even know about myself, about people, about life, my relationship with God. It actually touched every aspect of my life, and it wasn't just something that I saw coming, basically. And throughout 2022, I was sitting back sometimes in January and just reflecting on the past year and trying to come up with what are the things that I actually knew I learned in 2022 that 2022 Anyway, I have 4 things that I'll be sharing with you that 2022 taught me. Some of you might I don't even think I've ever shared anything that happened to me in 2022 on YouTube. I've not. And I don't know, I've not gotten to that point where I feel like I'm comfortable enough to share them, and I've not been led by the Spirit to share as well. But at the same time, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 4 points that 2022 taught me, and I just want to talk about it. So I have that on my system. Let me carry the system so that I will not forget any points. Yeah. So the first thing 2022 taught me, which has always been the theme of my life, but 2022 actually made that, 2022 made that emphasis on that point, is the fact that God is ever faithful. He is ever faithful. He is a faithful Father. He is consistent. He never changes. He watches His word. Why is my ring light bent on frustrating me today? Why? This ring light will not spoil my mood. I will book you, okay? Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, God is faithful. I know all about my life that God is faithful, but there are some things you go through and you just kind of re-emphasize that fact that God is faithful. Everything I went through last year, there were things that even before I entered into that phase, before I started going through that path, I'd already received a word from God, but I actually did not understand what those words were meant for. I'd received scriptures, I'd received hymns, I've received music, worship songs, things like that. But I just felt like, okay, yeah, it's just the normal way we talk. So I know you're calling my attention to something, but I never knew There's some things were about to come forth. You understand? At the beginning of the year, one of the words my husband is always fond of saying that is a phrase or sentence, but that with God we can never be stranded. He has been saying this word since far back when we were in Nigeria, you understand. But I've never really actually taken time to digest those words. To me, it was just like a daily confession of yes, with God we can never be stranded. But when we entered into 2022, the crossover night of 2022, we were praying, and that sentence dropped in my mind that with me, you will never be stranded this year. And I just took it like, of course, you've never made me stranded. So it's not 2022, you're going to leave me. But I never knew that God had already saw what 2022 had in store, and it was just reassuring me and reaffirming his promises to me through that sentence or that phrase or something like that. So I entered into 2022 with that word. I was always confessing it and everything like that. And then the trials of 2022 came sweeping in, and it almost floored me. Like it almost floored me. And I'm thankful to God that He's faithful to His word. He watched every of His promises. He brought them into fulfillment. He brought them to pass. And in everything, 31st of December 2022, I could boldly stand and declare that indeed, this our God is a faithful Father. Another thing that 2022 taught me is that we go through things to serve as testimony, as strength for other people that are coming behind. These things have normally been something that we hear about in Sunday school, things like that. But the Bible also said itself, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony, right? You listen to some people's testimony and that actually surge your faith. You're like, if God can do it for this person, then they can definitely do it for me. But I've never in my life seen myself in that state of me having to go through some ugly things for me to be a reference point to others. I never say it like that. Like 2022 really showed me that anybody, just anybody, anybody can be used by God to show forth His glory. Because coming in, as an immigrant in the UK is never easy. It's not. You're new in a place, you're trying to settle down, things are not easy. The system is strange, it's weird, you're trying to fit into it and things like that. And when that came in, I think sometimes all these things started sometimes in April. Last year, April 2022, that's when it started, 30th of April, it all started. And it was like, oh, we'll get over it. And it kept pressing, and it was becoming so hard for me to navigate through. It was becoming hard. My marriage, because I wasn't even available to be there to occupy the position of a wife, not to talk of a companion or anything like that. I was just in my own world. I was trying to navigate this strange life I've suddenly found myself in that I never ever saw coming, you understand? And all through that process, what God made me understand that I'm taking you this process, I'm taking you through this phase deliberately because I've given you a platform that will help you serve as a testimony for others that are coming. Because believe me, I wasn't even out on my own issues when God has started using me to help others solve the same issue that I found myself in. Because even during the time, I had other people as well share their testimonies with me, people that have gone through it, and that's what made me believe, the proverb that says there's nothing new on this earth, nothing. Whatever problem you think you're going through, somebody else had gone through it, and this kind of people kind of held my hands, helped us through that phase. So I understood that this was the reason why God is taking me through this phase as well, to be able to help others. And to the glory of God, we've been able to help others. We are still helping others through that phase. And especially when they come back to share the testimony of I keyed into your testimony. I keyed into the fact that God can do this for you, then He can do this for me, and the Lord has done it. Things like that. It just strengthened your faith again. And I just believe, the devil might have meant for something else for that when it happened last year. It might have meant for something else, but God actually brought out. God brought out a usefulness from that phase for me and made me to, be able to understand people because. It's not a situation of I can understand, I can relate. It's more like I know how you feel. I know the feeling because I've been there. I know how the pressure is like. I know the uncertainty, the crazy thought that, clouds your mind and things like that. I know it. This is how God helped me through. These were the steps we take. Apply these steps, and He's going to help you. Whatever phase it is that you're going through right now, or probably you've gone through, God has a purpose for it. He wants you to be a testimony for others. How are we going to overcome if no other person have been able to share this testimony that, oh, this is what has happened? Why is it that we are easily quick, to make reference to the fact that the children of Israel got to the Red Sea, they could not go forward, they could not go backward, and the Lord made a way where there seems to be no way. I felt like if the Israelites hadn't gone through that, we wouldn't have that reference point to always remind God of His promises. So the same thing for we humans as well. You go through some of these challenges, you go through some of these phases, and when you come out of it, you serve as this strong reminder for other people who are going through the same thing, that we serve a God who is constant, who is faithful. I've been able to go through things, I've come out of these things, these are the things I've learned and things like that. Apply the same thing, work and pray to God, and then you see them coming back to share the same testimony. So instead of we being quick to always ask the question of why me, why should it be me, why me of all people, I feel like it's more like of a place of gratitude, knowing the fact that God chose you for His glory. God chose you for people to not share that glory in your life, but for them to even know God more, bring them closer to God, and be able to give glory to God in that situation that you find yourself, right? Yeah. The third thing, never say it can't be you. Yeah, I don't know if you get, never say it cannot be you, because it can't be you, okay? And I'm going to talk in the place of depression. Power befitting to the UK. I never ever in my wildest dream that thought that I, Evolua, can ever be depressed. Like, what would make me depressed? If I'm having tough time in Nigeria, I'll find myself in salon. By the time they wash my hair with those skills hands, the depression will fly away. Or I find myself in like a restaurant, I eat food, I'm okay. Or I watch a movie, or I listen to praises. I never ever thought that I could find myself in a depression state, because I just felt like I'm this strong person. There's nothing I cannot chest. You okay, humbled me. He did what? He humbled me. I was having conversation with someone. Was it a conversation, or I saw a status update of somebody saying that she never knew what depression was until she came to the UK, and I'm like, sis, preach it, loud it for those of us at the back, because I was the same person. I never thought I could find myself in that position. In fact, I never really understood what it was to feel depressed. I was just like, what could be that hard for you to be depressed? But when I came into this country, man, 2022 taught me what depression is like. Depression isn't just being dirty, crying all day, and not going out, or you could be depressed and you're going through your normal activities, but all of a sudden you find yourself in this dark state that you just feel like nobody understands. You do not care if there's any other living being around you. You just want to be on your own, because nothing else made sense. That was how it was to me. Nothing else made sense. It was like I'm in constant place of trying to go round and round in circles without finding a way. Nothing. I wasn't finding any sense in anything. I wasn't interested in people. I wasn't interested in anything that was breathing in my space. It's something that I cannot describe with words. But trust me, it's not a feeling that you would want to have. And when you've gone through that, you tend to understand people more, because a little people, a lot of us come out, you're wearing this flashy clothes with your wigs and all of this like that, and you're laughing, and everybody's just like, oh, she's a joyful person. I feel like the month that I was depressed was the month I received the most compliment of my life. Oh, you have a bright smile. Oh, this is that. This your face is shining. Teach us this and that. And deep down in me, I'm just screaming for help. I'm screaming for somebody to make me understand, because nothing seems to be making sense to me. But nobody just seems to understand. And from that point, I tend to learn how to communicate more gently with people, treat people more gently, give people, like, create excuses for people because you don't know what people are going through. And it also taught me never to think I cannot be that person. I mean, a lot of things have taught me in 2022 that, never say you cannot be, never say it cannot happen to you because life is so unpredictable. It can. God might be wanting to teach you something through that situation as well. And I felt like that was what 2022 taught me. It taught me just to know that we are all humans trying to navigate this life, and you cannot navigate it without having God in your life. Like, you cannot. It will just swarm you up. It's going to overwhelm you, and at the end of the day, you just get lost. But you need somebody, like, you need a guide. You need God to always hold your hands and guide you daily. And to the last point, is God taught me through 2022 how to wait. Yeah, waiting on Him. Gosh, I'm not somebody that loves to wait. I don't like waiting. Like, let's do what we do, let's go quick. And I would say for 2 decades and a half of my life as well, I've never had cause to wait for something. God has been so faithful in my life that if I needed anything, by the time I mutter some sentences of prayers, it does it for me, like, sharp, sharp. And for also somebody coming from, I would just call my parents rich, but we were comfortable, okay? So everything I needed in my life, I get it. Like, once I just tell my parents, like, they just provide it. So I never had cause to, like, pause for a second to wait for something before getting it again. But then 2022 taught me how to wait, and not just waiting, the right things to do while waiting as well. Because at the beginning of 2022, when I found myself in the waiting room, I was constantly being distracted by the open doors. I was constantly being distracted by people that were coming into the waiting room and going out of the waiting room. And that distracted me from the activities, things that were going on in the waiting room that God actually wanted me to engage with, to learn from, to just help keep that waiting season more fun and not make me, depressed while waiting. And I feel like it applies to a lot of us when we are in a waiting season, and what the Lord wants you to learn in that waiting period, we don't get to learn it because we're so anxious of getting out. We're so eager to leave that room. We're also distracted. Once the door opens, probably another person's name is called in the waiting room and the person has received their answers. You're distracted with that because you're constantly looking to that door, like, when is my name going to be called? When am I going to be answered? Things like that. Whereas you are being distracted from other things that are happening in the room. Games are going on, drama administration is going on. I'm just using this as, like an analogy for us to understand, like, things are going on in the waiting room that we ought to be engaged with. But because you're just so anxious, you're so in haste, you want things to come at your own time. I wanted everything in 2022 to come at the time that I had already designated it. In this month, this was what I wanted. In this quarter, this was what I wanted. Things like that. And when it wasn't coming, and when God just decided to tell me, like, if chill, wait. I need you to stay in this room where I make everything work together for your good. But for me, I wasn't used to waiting. So it was like, I don't want to wait. Give it to me. This is what I have to give it to me. Something like that. But it was teaching me patience. It was teaching me to trust His time. It was teaching me to know that I cannot bribe Him to get things I want from Him, because He's not a man. Okay, He will give me these things regardless if I do some of the things that I thought could bribe Him. Because I found myself fasting more than usual, praising more than usual. I found myself praying in the midnight, waking up in the midnight to pray, praying nakedly. I was doing all this religious act, or I was doing all these spiritual activities to bribe Him, to hasten the answer, to hasten to get what I want. But He was just telling me, chill. I'm going to do this at my own time, when it's going to be perfect, when nobody will share that glory. That's when I'm going to do it. So you just need to trust me and wait for my own time. The fact that I've been giving you before, it wasn't because you prayed to me, or it wasn't because you were fasting, or it wasn't because of all those things. I did them because I love you. So you need not bribe me with all these activities. You need not bribe me with all this up and down before I'll do this for you, because I love you. I'm going to do it. So there's no need for you to be doing all that. And it was hard for me. It was so hard for me, like, really, really hard, because it's just a different ball game when you're waiting. Yeah, some of the waiting room I've come out of it, some I'm still in it, still trusting and waiting for His time. But I wouldn't know if you are also in the waiting room like I am for something, you've been praying for something, you're expecting something, it is not coming. Try to engage in the activities that He has for you in the waiting room. Because another thing I've learned with God is He's not going to make you jump a class when you've not learned what you're supposed to learn. Like in school where we have double promotion, we go to class and go and catch up. If you've not learned what God wants you to learn in primary one, you keep repeating it until you learn it before He allows you go to primary two. And I feel like that's what happened for majority of us. We are in the waiting room. He's teaching us something through the games or other things that are going on in the room, but our attention is not even there. Our attention is not there. We're just so focused at the door. When is the door going to open? When are they going to call me? But why not get engaged with other things in the waiting room? Get engaged with praises. Get engaged with outreaches. Get engaged with evangelism. Get engaged with reading more, building an intimate relationship with Him, and not focus solely on the door, which is distracting you and not making you pay attention. Because until you learn that thing God wants you to learn in your waiting period, my sister, you keep waiting. And it's not to anybody's benefit. So I would say, even in that waiting time, this is not me just saying something of, oh yeah, I understand. It might be like, it's something that I've gone through. Like I said, I'm still in the waiting room, waiting for some other things. But I've just come to understand that being in the waiting room does not mean He has not answered you. It's just like perfecting and packaging and making you awesome for you to receive the answer that you want. Because there are many of us that if we get the answer that we want instantly, it might destroy us. It might destroy our faith. We are probably not even built. We are not that strong enough yet to handle it. You get? So that's what waiting room does for so many of us. It molds you, reshape you, it engages you in other things to make you awesome, to make you to stretch you to receive that which you're asking for. So that was another thing I learned that 2022, taught me. And in as much as 2022 showed me shaggy, I felt like 2022 at the same time was that year that I enjoyed God more. I encountered Him in various ways. I had this relationship with Him that, I'm just so proud of where I am right now with the relationship with Him, because I've moved closer to Him, not just because I had challenges in 2022, but because I now really understand Him for who He is. God being a father, and not just my healer, not just my provider, not just my protector, not just the prayer answering God. I've known Him as a father, and I know all these things are encompassing Him. So knowing Him as a father first, working in that reality makes every other thing to align. So yes, that is what 2022 for me, and I'm really grateful to have gone through 2022. I'm grateful to be done with it. So I'm looking forward to 2023 with much more open doors, much more answered prayers, much more relaxing time, in 2023. And guys, also, talking about this channel, I know probably some of you might like, because I remember coming up with the script for this video, and a part of me was like, who asked you story, but I just feel like to whom much is given, much is expected. A lot of you, I think I have like 1,200 plus of you right now, and you gave me your time, you gave me your subscription, you gave me your data to consume my content, engage with me, and I just felt like I owe you enough to be able to explain why I've been off the radar for a while. I really appreciate those who reached out, checking on me, some just sending prayer, test, quotes. I really, really do appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. 2023, we're back, and please do let me know in the comment section what type of content you would love to see in 2023. Let me know in the comment section, because one of my goals this year is to work more in depth, consistently, and engaging more on my social media account. So it's not only on my YouTube, even on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do well to do that. On my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and even TikTok. Yeah, I think I'm understanding the dynamics of TikTok. So even TikTok. So I really want to work more on my social media content. I feel like God wants me to put much more effort on these channels this year, and that's what we'll be doing. So do well to let me know what you want to see this year, so I can plan so that we can engage. And at the same time, let me know what 2020, what's that lesson you took out of 2022? What was that thing that stood out for you in 2022? Do drop in the comment section to help all of us, we learn on this channel. And thank you so much, guys, for your support. I really, really do not take it for granted. 2022, you guys brought me to my first 1,000 subscribers. It was like a fulfilling time. I felt like I was so happy getting my first 1,000 subscribers, and I know this year we're aiming for 10K. Somebody say amen. Please drop amen, so that you actually join me in faith. Yeah. I know we can do more. So please do engage with me. Please, I really want us to engage more this year. Engage with me in the comment section. Let's talk. Do want to share the video as well. And I have some vlogs. I have a lot of videos at hand. So the fact that I wasn't uploading does not mean I wasn't vlogging for you guys. So I have a lot of vlogs will be coming up after this video. But I just felt like to welcome you all to 2023, like an official Happy New Year video. Explain a little bit of things to you guys, share you what I found interesting and intriguing in 2022, and at the same time the plan for 2023. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really hope you've been able to learn one or two things from this, and do well to engage with me in the comment section. Do not forget to like this video, share with your family, friends, and loved ones, and I will see you guys in the next one.